Hello, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to us all to this session in which we are going to do Arabic grammar. We are going to see a new topic, and I hope we are in good shape of health and mind such that we can follow the lesson keenly and religiously. And I pray the previous lessons are well understood. As I've been saying, Nahu is like building a story building, making a story building. The foundation needs to be strong so that it can carry the whole body, the other stories, it can carry the whole floors. If the foundation is weak, the pillars are weak, and you decide to build on it, you are just killing yourself. You are setting a destructive trap for yourself. And so, in Nahu, when the foundation is not strong and you build upon it, you keep learning. You get to a point you've learned a whole lot, but your understanding becomes very corrupted. That's why I keep repeating, try as much as possible to understand whatever is done in each episode very well. If there is anything that is unclear, try to ask. Do your possible best to understand that before you move to the next lesson. Because the author of the book has done it in such a style that we call tadarruj, stage by stage. You keep climbing. So we need to climb with him so that he will take us to where he intends to take us. And I trust the process here. Okay, so I'm going to go into the lesson from here. Our topic is kana wa akhawatuha. Akhawat is the plural of ukht, sister, ukht. And then it says kana wa akhawatuha, kana and its sisters. Kana is a verb, so we say the verb kana and its sisters. Its sisters is literal. What it means is that kana has a kind of contribution it brings to the sentence it is found in. So when you have a sentence and kana is in the sentence, it has its own effect, which I would like to term the kana effect. Okay. Because it has a contribution it brings and it changes certain things, we give it a special attention. There are verbs that act just like kana. They also cause the same changes, they bring the same contribution to the sentence, and so we gather them together and we say they are sisters of kana. So they are together, they are treated together. Okay, let's get right into the amsila and see it clearly what he really means, that the topic really means. Okay, now we will have a lot of words here because the examples are a whole lot, so you need to really concentrate. Okay, so here amsila, the number one, it says azihamu shadidun. Azihamu shadidun. Aziham is the traffic. Aziham, traffic or crowd. Some say is the ham. They all have almost the same meaning. So aziham here, the traffic, or is the ham. Some would like to say al-izdihamu shadidun. Some will say azihamu shadidun. There will definitely be a slight difference, but not now. Now we know that aziham means traffic or crowd. Okay. Azihamu shadidun, the traffic is severe or the crowd is severe. Okay. What is done here is that the sentence is brought and kana is added to the sentence so that you see clearly what has happened to the sentence. So what I'm going to do is I'll read the one here and I'll read its counterpart where kana is added, so that we will move in a very logical step. So that at every stage, you see the change that occurred. Okay. Azihamu shadidun, the crowd or the traffic is severe. Now, kana is added here. You can see it here. It says, kana azihamu shadidan. Please let's note these changes here. Here we have shadidun and here we have shadidan. You go with me in this sense. Now, this sentence we have here is a subject and predicate. Is mubtada and khabar. You can easily go back to the al-jumla al-ismiya or go back to mubtada and khabar. You see sentences just like this. One comes like that with dhamma, the other comes with dhamma. The first one has alif and lam, the second does not have. Mubtada and khabar as we treated there. If you forgot it, you just refresh there and get back here. Here is al-jumla al-ismiya, where we have mubtada and then we have our khabar. Now let's look what changes here. We have kana az-zihamu shadidan. So from shadidun to shadidan. What caused this shadidan is the introduction of kana. When kana comes and joins a jumla ismiya, the khabar changes from marfu', that is, changes from taking dhamma to taking fatha. So instead of dhamma, you see fatha. So the khabar, kana, changes the khabar to mansub. Instead of marfu', which is dhamma, it changes it to mansub, which is fatha. Okay, next sentence. Al-baytu nazifun. The house is clean. That is mubtada and khabar. Now kana is added here. It is kana al-baytu, the mubtada stays as it is. Nazifan. So you note here again that fatha has been introduced. The khabar has become mansub instead of the original marfu' it was. Okay, let's go on. We have again athawbu qasirun. Now this is kana. Kana is done. We are going to start singing the sisters of kana. Okay. The first one of those is we have athawbu qasirun. Athawbu is dress. A dress. So the dress is short. Qasir means short. The opposite of tawil. You have tawil and qasir. So qasir is short. The dress is short. And then we have swara introduced here. So swara is ukhtu kana. It's a sister to kana. Okay, so we have swara athawbu qasiran. Look at it here, the same function. That's why we say it is kana's sister. The dress has become short. I don't know if I forgot to give the meaning of kana. Kana means was. So when kana is introduced to a jumla ismiya, it takes the meaning to the past. So the traffic is severe. Here we will have the traffic was severe. And then here the house is neat or clean. We will have the house was clean. So it has changed something slightly. So kana means was. Okay, now let's come back to swara. Swara means to become, to change into. All these will be explained in the bath, but I want to give you my own explanation. Said that if it differs, whichever you find very cool, then it works with you. Okay, so we have swara athawbu qasiran. The dress has become short. Here you can see the fathatain. Al-bardu qarisun. Qarisun means severely cold. I think we met this word in Al-Qira'at al-Rashida lessons. Qarisun, severely cold. So al-bardu, the cold is severe. Qarisun. So you see that shadid means severe, but it isn't used for al-bardu. It can be used, it can be said al-bardu shadidun. But the most fitting word is qarisun. So if you are in cold, like snowy place, it's getting really cold, say al-bardu qarisun. The cold is severe. Okay. So we have swara again. Swara al-bardu qarisan. So you can see that fatatain has come instead of the domatain. So with this, you can just do your own example. And what I will advise, or what I will say, is that you look at the Quran and you see examples of this. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ غَفُورًا. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ غَفُورًا. You look at the Quran, you see a lot of these kind of sentences coming like that. So you familiarize yourself with it. And reading a lot too, you meet a lot of these. Okay, let's calm down. Sara means to become, which is sayrura, to change into. So Sara al-bardu qarisan means that the cold was not severe before, but it has become, it has changed into. That is what we call sayrura, changing into. I will tell you, صار المنديل صار المنديل مالا. صار المنديل مالا. The handkerchief has become money, changing in form. Okay, that is sayrura. Now let's get to the next one. We have al-khadimu qawiyun. Al-khadimu is servant, qawiyun, strong. Al-khadimu qawiyun, the servant is strong. Then we have here, so here laysa is ukht kana. Laysa means is not. Laysa is not. We have laysa al-khadimu qawiyan. Here you can see your fathatain coming clearly. So just from here you can just observe they all come like that. We have here al-amilu. Al-amilu means the worker. Nasheetun is active. Nasheet, active. The worker is active. So we have laysa al-amilu nasheetan. So when you have a sentence and you just want to bring in any of these meanings, you want to say, you know the boy, they say, somebody says al-waladu tawilun. Al-waladu tawilun. A correct jumla ismiya. And you want to say, no, he is not tall. The boy is not tall. You want to say he's not tall. You just bring in your laysa. You bring the same sentence, but you make the khabar fathatain. So you say laysa al-waladu tawilan. That is just what the grammar we need to understand from this session. Okay. The next sister, we have an-nahimu maridun. As I said, we will see a lot of words. The word an-nahimu means a glutton, depending on the country you are listening to this from. Me being a Ghanaian, or let me say my own accent, I will say glutton. Once I was speaking with some students, or I was teaching some students, I said glutton, and they were like, gluten. Like, what's that? So glutton. I think that's the word. So some would like to say an eater, somebody who eats a lot. Some would like to pronounce it gluten, some would like to say gluten. Our attention is the grammar we need to capture from here. Okay, so we have an-nahimu maridun. The glutton or the eater is sick. So we have the next sister we have here is asbaha. Now, even if you are handling the book or if you are watching the video directly, I will advise you write down the sisters of kana and his sisters, write them down, memorize them, and write their meanings attached to them as we explain, so that you memorize them. Okay. So we have an-nahimu maridun, the eater or the glutton is sick. And then we have here asbaha an-nahimu maridun. This is the effect we are looking for. Asbaha means to become, but it is not, doesn't have the meaning of sayrura, changing into. We use it to mean that, but that is not a specific function. Now we will come to see the differentiation factor between the asbaha and the rest. All these things we come and see their difference very clearly. Okay. So asbaha means generally to become. Asbaha an-nahimu maridan. The glutton or the eater, excessive eater, has become sick or has fallen sick. Then we have al-jawu mumtirun. The weather is rainy, or the atmosphere is rainy. That is, there is rain in there. And then we have here asbaha al-jawu. The mubtada is still dhamma. mumtiran. See your fatha there? So from marfu here to mansub here. So when asbaha or any of the sisters of kana comes, the khabar becomes mansub. It moves from is marfu to mansub. Okay, let's go on. So asbaha means to become. Then we have al-amilu mut'abun. Al-amilu, we've seen it, the worker. Mut'abun means tired. Mut'abun means tired. A lot of people, or let me say some students, make the mistake here, and they say mut'abun. Like the person will say, ana mut'abun. Now, when you give the ain kasra here, it tends to the thing that causes stress, that causes tiredness. So if you say ana mut'abun, that is I am stressed or I am tired. Something has caused me to be tired. But when you say something is mut'abun, abun instead of abun, mut'abun, that is the thing that causes the stress. So if I say al-amalu, not amilu. Al-amalu, the work, mut'abun, is stressful. The work is stressful. And so what? Al-amilu mut'abun, the worker is stressed or is tired. I hope that is clear. So if you say I'm tired, you can say ana mut'abun. Some will say taban. It's not bad. Ana taban. Say ana mut'abun. I am tired. So we have the sister of Kena here, amsa. So amsa al-amilu mut'aban. Mut'aban. Can see the fathatain here. The worker has become stressed or tired. As I said, I will explain the difference between this become. Okay. Az-zahru, the flower, dhabilun, is withering or has withered. Az-zahru dhabil, the flower has dried up or has withered. Okay. Amsa az-zahru dhabilan, the flower has become withered or dried up. Okay. Done with amsa 2. Keep marking them. Amsa 2 is gone. We have al-ghamamu kathifun. Al-ghamam is clouds. Clouds. Kathif means thick. Kathif means thick or dense. So the clouds are dense or are thick. Okay. Then we have adha al-ghamam kathifan. You can see the fathatain there, and this is causing it. Adha is part of the sisters of Kena. It says adha al-ghamam kathifan. The clouds have become thick. Okay. Ash-shari'u muzdahimun. The road or the street is trafficked. Muzdahimun. If you remember, I told you az-ziham, you can say al-izdiham. So as ash-shari'u muzdahimun, the road is crowded or trafficked. Okay, so we have adha ash-shari'u muzdahiman afwan. Adha ash-shari'u muzdahiman, the street has become crowded. Okay. Al-mataru gazirun. Gazir means heavy, a lot. If gazir is used to describe water, it means a lot, voluminous. Al-mataru, the rain is heavy, gazirun. Okay, now we have the sister of Kena here, which is zolla. Zolla means to remain, to remain. So we have zolla al-mataru, the doma is still there. Gaziran, you realize that this part has changed. The rain remained heavy. ظل المطر غزيرا. The rain remained heavy, or it kept raining heavily. Okay. الغبار ثائر. We've seen this sentence about thrice. The dust is rising. الغبار ثائر. The dust is rising. Now we have here ظل الغبار ثائرا. Instead of سائر, now we have ثائرا. إرن فتحتين. So ظل means to remain. So you say the dust kept rising. Okay. And then we have our last one. المصباح متقد. Misbah is lamp, and متقد is lighted up. The lamp is lighted up, or the lamp is burning. You know those lamps that are real fire, you say the lamp is burning, or the lamp is lighted up. متقد. Okay. Then we have A.Y.T.A. This is the sister of Kena here, A.Y.T.A. So we have A.Y.T.A al-misbahu muttaqidan. The lamp remained, or the lamp, let's say the lamp remained lighted up. Okay. Then we have here al-maridu muta'allimun. The patient is in pain. Muta'allimun. Now note here, this is Hamza. Hamza and Lam. If you say muta'allimun, bil ayn, if you use ayn, muta'allim, it means a student, somebody who is learning. But the sound is muta'allimun. Muta'allimun. The patient is in pain from alama. From alam. Alamun, pain. Okay. So we go to A.Y.T.A. al-maridu muta'alliman. The patient kept feeling the pains. Now, before we go into the explanation, let me explain some key points here to you before we get into the explanation. From Swara, we learned Swara is to transform into, or change into, move from one condition to the other. Swara, which I said is Swairura, to change into. Okay. Laysa, I said the meaning is not, or are not. Asbaha. Now this is where I really want us to notice. Asbaha, you can see the item of sabah, morning, in here. So asbaha means to wake up, or to come into your morning. So asbaha nahimu maridan. If the Arab hears this, asbaha means to become, but he knows this to become is to become in the morning. So if I say asbaha nahimu maridan, it can be understood that in the night he was not sick. Let's get this part clear. Asbaha and nahimu maridan can mean, or actually means, that in the night he was not sick, but he got up sick. Instead of sabahul khair, somebody greeting you, sabahul khair, good morning, somebody can say kaifa asbahta. Kaifa asbahta. How did you wake up? If you can say asbahtu maridan, I woke up sick, or asbahtu qawiyan, asbahtu jayidan, I woke up very fit or good. This is the same thing here. Asbaha and nahimu, the glutton or the eater, got up, woke up sick. Asbaha means to become, but it has the item of as-sabah. Let's note that. Okay. Amsa also means to become, but Amsa has the item of masa, which is afternoon or evening to night. Evening to night, or let's say sometimes from afternoon to night, all is masa. Amsa al-amilu mut'aban. That means the worker got into his evening tired. He has worked from morning, so let's say by 3 p.m. he became tired. So you say Amsa al-amilu mut'aban. He got tired. When you say this, you don't need to say Amsa al-amilu mut'aban fi as-sa'a al-thalitha, masa'an. You don't need to say he got tired at 3 p.m. and all that. No, you don't need that. The moment you say amsa al-amilu mut'aban, the one who understands Arabic knows that, oh, amsa, that means he got tired in the evening. You are talking about he becoming tired in the evening. I hope this point is also clear. Now, adha. Adha also has to do with ad-duha. Ad-duha is also time. We even have a prayer. The Muslims pray Salatul Duha. Just like about the sun rising. Some call it forenoon or so. Just about the time when the sun will come out. I think it differs from the country you are in. After the dawn, just before the sun, the first phase of the sun, Muslims say a particular prayer there, nafila. That is a prayer, an optional prayer, which is 2 units of prayer. They say it at that time, before the sun shows face. That is the time we call ad-duha. So you can check up in Surah Ad-Duha in the Quran, the chapter Ad-Duha. It says, وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى. You can check it there and you get more insight into that. So it says, Ad-Duha al-Ghamamu kathifan. So here we understand that the clouds became thick, but when? At that particular time. At that time of around here in Ghana, I think around almost 6 o'clock a.m., almost 6 o'clock a.m., or let's say 6:30 at most, 6:30, 6:45, thereabout, up to 7 of Duha, we are in that time. So when somebody says Adha al-Ghamamu kathifan, you understand that it is in this particular time of the morning that the person is talking about. Okay. Zolla has to do with the day, to remain throughout the day. So that is not really complicated. But bata means, bata even has the meaning of nama. Bata has the meaning of nama, bimana to sleep. Okay. Bata also means to go through your night, not necessarily sleep. Okay, so bata, you can say bata abitu. You can say abitu layli fi qira'at al-Quran. I spend my night. Bata means to go through the night, not necessarily sleep. Whether you slept, whether you don't sleep, it's bata, to go through the night. So you can say abitu layli fi qira'at al-Quran, abitu layli na'iman. I spend my night sleeping. I spend my night reading the Quran. I spend my night in doing what? Abitu. So there is this saying that some link to Imam Shafi, some link to Imam Suyuti. They say, abitu saharana duja, wa tabituhu nauman, wa tabghi ba'da dhalika lahaqi. I spend my night, abitu saharana duja. I spend my night, I spend the darkness awake. Wa tabituhu. Bata, this same bata is being conjugated. Tabituhu, and you spend your night. No, wa tabituhu nauman, you spend it sleeping. Wa tabghi ba'da dhalika, and you seek after that lahaqi, to catch up with me, whilst I spend my night awake doing a lot of work and you are asleep throughout. You seek to catch up with me. It's a nice quote like that. Abitu sahrana duja wa tabituhu nauman wa tabghi ba'da dhalika lahaqi. Okay, so that is bat. So he says bat al-misbahu muttaqidan. What we understand from here is that the lamps remained lighted up throughout the night. Again here, bat al-maridu muta'alliman. The patient went through his night in pain. These are the meanings and the differences. Just write every detail down and try to look at them clearly, very well. Now let's get to the bus. Almost 90% of the work has been done. So it's going to be a freestyle reading. Al-Bas, explanation. He says, Kullu mithalin. As I said, after kullu, you expect the noun that comes to take kasra. Kullu mithalin, each example, fil qism al-awwal, in the first part, يتألف من. يتألف من is like يتركب من. يتألف من is composed of مبتدأ وخبر. It's composed of a subject and predicate. So if you look at the first part, this is what he's talking about. This part are what he's talking about. If you look at it, it's about مبتدأ خبر مبتدأ خبر. So it says كل مثال في القسم الأول يتألف من مبتدأ وخبر. وهما, and these two, مرفوعان. They are both مرفوع. Now, as I've said, مبتدأ, as we studied it, is مرفوع. It ends in dhamma. That is, the subject ends in dhamma. And the predicate, which is the khabar, also ends in dhamma. So it says الولد جيد. dhamma. كما علمت. So it says كما علمت, as you've known. وإذا نظرت, and if you look إلى القسم الثاني, to the second part, which is where the kana and sisters are added, رأيت الأمثلة عينها. You see the same example. عينها here means the same. You can use it and say جاء الرجل عينه. The man himself came. جاء الرئيس عينه. The president or the head himself came. You can use it like that. It is to show, sometimes you see, instead of ayn, you see nafs. So here you can see رأيت الأمثلة نفسها. That you can see it somewhere. So just put that ayn or nafs to show that himself or herself. So if aynaha, herself or himself, aynuhu or nafsuhu, it can come like that. رأيت الأمثلة عينها. And the ayn and nafs, they take the same vowel as this one. So رأيت الأمثلة عينها, taking fatha. So you see the same examples. So when you look at the second partition, you see that the same mubtada and khabar are there. They are available. But بعد أن دخل على كل منها, after okay, let's go like this. بعد أن دخل على كل منها أحد الأفعال. After one of these verbs, أحد الأفعال, one of the verbs, these are the verbs he's talking about, kana and his sisters. After they've entered and دخل على كل منها, after each of the sentences has gotten one of these verbs introduced into it. So the second partition is the same sentence, but kana has been introduced, Sara has been introduced, Laysa, and so on. Okay. So let's see what it goes. وإذا تأملت أواخر الأسماء. If you should look very well at the endings of the nouns. في هذا القسم, in this partition, that is the قسم الثاني, the second part, where kana and sisters are added. If you look at the endings of the words, okay, it says وجدت الاسم الأول, you find the first noun مرفوعا. As I said, the mubtada stays as it is. It still takes its dhamma. في كل الأمثلة, in all the examples, the first noun still takes its dhamma. والاسم الثاني, and the second noun منصوبا. So we have the first noun, which is the mubtada, keeping its marfu, and the second noun becoming mansub. في جميعها, in all of it, in all the examples. وما حدث هذا التغيير, أي وما سبب هذا التغيير, what caused these changes or this change? No, what he is actually saying, وما حدث هذا التغيير إلا من دخول الأفعال المتقدمة. Okay, and these changes حدث بمعنى وقع أو حصل. That is, this change did not occur except from the entry دخول الأفعال المتقدمة, the entry of these verbs كان, بات, ظل, أصبح, and all these. They are those that cause the changes, because in the first part, when they were not there, everything was doma. When they were introduced, now one of the domas which is that of the khabar has changed into mansub, it has changed into fatha. Okay. Says فهذه الأفعال إذن, then these verbs تدخل على المبتدأ والخبر, then these verbs they are introduced to mubtada and khabar. You have a mubtada and khabar, then these verbs come. This is how they come in. فترفع الأول, so they make the first one ترفع, they make it مرفوع, they make the first noun مرفوع ويسمى اسمها. So this is what we need to note here. Before kana came, the sentence we had mubtada and khabar. When kana came, the mubtada is no more called mubtada. It is called ismu kana. This is what he means by ismaha. Ay ism kana. It becomes its name. So we say ismu kana marfu. It is the name of kana. It is the noun for kana. Kana now owns it. So you say ismu kana instead of mubtada. So if you see wa kana Allahu ghafuran, Allahu here is ismu kana. But if you see Allahu rahimun or Allahu ghafurun, then Allahu is mubtada. But when kana and its sisters come in, then you say ismu kana or ismu adha or ismu bata, something, it goes like that. Okay, so it says when they are introduced, ترفع الأول, they make the first one مرفوع, that is the mubtada is still مرفوع, ويسمى اسمها, and it is called اسم كان, اسم باتا, اسم أصبح, like that. وتنصب, and it makes the second noun, وتنصب الثاني, and it makes the second noun منصوب. That is what you mean by وتنصب. And وترفع means to make it مرفوع. تنصب means to make it منصوب. ويسمى خبرها, and it is called خبر كان, خبر أصبح, خبر أمسى, like that. So you say the mubtada and khabar now become ismu kana and khabar kana, like that. Okay. He says ويعمل المضارع والأمر من هذه الأفعال عملها. The mudari, that is the present tense of these verbs, kana yakunu, bata yabitu, like that. The present tense and the command kun, like that. The command form of them, min hazihi al-af'al, when you make the command form from all these verbs, or the imperative form from all these verbs, they function just as it is functioning now, as we have it. So if you see كان الله, or if you see كان الله غفورا, or كان الولد طويلا, if you say يكون الولد طويلا, they have to function the same way. They have to come with the same function. Okay, so the mudari, the present tense form of the verbs, and the command imperative form, they all work just like what we've seen here. Okay. غير أن, this is an expression, beautiful one. Except that, غير أن, except that, ليس, the verb ليس, لا يأتي منها مضارع ولا أمر. From ليس we do not get present tense, nor do we get imperative form or command form. So ليس only conjugates to the past tense. It does not conjugate to the present. It does not conjugate to the imperative form or the command form. So you have laysa, laysat, lastu, lasta, lasti, laysu, laysa, laysata is only conjugated to the past. They were not, we were not, and all that. So he says la ya'ti minha mudari'un wala amr. You don't get mudari or command form, you don't get present or command form from the verb laysa. Okay. Now we are coming to talk about the meanings, as I've already explained, so it will be a freestyle. It says, وَإِذَا تَدَبَّرْتَ مَعَانِي هَذِهِ الْأَفْعَالِ فِي أَمْثِلَتِهَا. If you should ponder over the meanings of these verbs in their examples, وجدت أن, you find that كان, the verb كان, تفيد اتصاف المبتدأ بالخبر. كان has this meaning. Anywhere you can take it like this. كان تفيد اتصاف المبتدأ بالخبر في الزمن الماضي. اتصاف ب, I think we've already talked about this اتصاف ب in is it الجملة المفيدة or this مبتدأ الخبر, one of them. If you look at the مبتدأ الخبر or الجملة الاسمية or maybe الجملة المفيدة, we talked about اتصاف المبتدأ بالخبر. That is describing the مبتدأ with the خبر. If you say الولد طويل, in a way you are saying the boy is tall, so you are describing the boy with length. Okay, so كان comes to say sorry. So when you have كان, what it does is that it takes this description to the past. اتصاف المبتدأ بالخبر في الزمن الماضي, in a past time. So if you say الولد طويل, the boy is tall, you are describing the boy with tall now. If you say الولد طويل. But if you say كان الولد طويل, كان الولد طويلا, كان الولد طويلا, the boy was tall في الزمن الماضي. Okay. And صار تدل على تحول المبتدأ من حال إلى حال. صار also means تدل على, refers to تحول المبتدأ. تحول means changes or conversion. تحول المبتدأ, the transformation of the مبتدأ من حال, from one condition, إلى حال, to another. So if you say من حال إلى حال, it means one condition to the other. And ليس تفيد النفي. تفيد النفي. ليس gives us the meaning of negation, which I said is not, it means it's not. And nephew, negation. أما as for أصبح, أمسى, أضحى, وظل, بات, فتفيد, these ones, this is their meaning, تفيد اتصاف المبتدأ بالخبر بالصباح والمساء والضحى والنهار والليل على الترتيب. Okay. I don't think we need this على الترتيب. We need this. This is the function. على الترتيب means respectively. So he just mentioned أصبح, أمسى, أضحى, ظل, بات together, and he gives us their function. They also mean اتصاف المبتدأ بالخبر, giving the مبتدأ the description of the خبر, giving it the خبر as a description. Just the same sentence, الولد طويل, the boy is tall. This doesn't have time factor. It means the boy is tall. I'm just saying he's tall. But if I say أصبح الولد طويلا, I am describing him as being tall, but in the morning. He says توقيت, timing, the اتصاف المبتدأ, description of the مبتدأ بالخبر, with the predicate, بالصباح, أي في الصباح, in the morning. So أصبح means in the morning, and then أمسى means in the evening, or in the afternoon or in the evening. Or أضحى means in the morning, the time as I described. And ظل means to remain, but in the afternoon, النهار, daytime. And bata means to remain, but في الليل, at night. This is what he means here. على الترتيب means sequentially or respectively. Okay, I think we've taken a lot of time. Let's look at our qawaid shaft and then we go. The qawaid is also lengthy. Okay, al-qawaid, the rulings, this you need to just capture them right away. It says تدخل كان على المبتدأ والخبر كان joins مبتدأ and خبر. When you have a مبتدأ and خبر, this is the kind of sentences that كان joins. Okay. When it joins, what does it do? ترفع الأول. It makes the first one مرفوع. ويسمى, and it is called اسمها. That is اسمه كان. وتنصب الثاني. It makes the second one منصوب, and it is called خبرها. That is خبر كان or خبر أصبح or خبر any of them. So you have اسم أصبح, خبر أصبح, like that, any of them. And then we have مثل كان فيما تقدم. Just like كان in this explanation that is given to كان here. So it says مثل كان فيما تقدم. Like, just like كان in this explanation is صار, ليس, أصبح, أمسى, أضحى, ظل, بات. So they all do this function of ترفع الأول ويسمى اسمها. They all do the same thing. So it says مثل كان فيما تقدم. I just like كان in just what we read, we just read, is this verse. وتسمى هذه الأفعال, and these verbs are called أخوات كان, the sisters of كان. Okay. And then we have لكل فعل من هذه الأفعال, for each verb among these verbs مضارع وأمر. They all have present tense verb. You can conjugate them to present, like أصبح يصبح, like بات يبيت, ظل يظل. You can have your present tense, and you can have your command form, which is the amr, imperative form. So you convert them, like asbih or something like that, to become or become. You convert them into command. They all do the same function. It says يعملان عمل الماضي. They all function as the past tense, because the ones we just studied, all of them are past tense. It says the present tense and the command form, this and that, they do the work. يعملان عمل الماضي. They do the function of the ماضي. Except that, إلا, except ليس, except the verb ليس. فلا يأتي منها مضارع ولا أمر. ليس does not have مضارع, neither does it have أمر. Okay, I hope it has been clear. In case anything is unclear, replay it and refollow it. If it's still unclear, the comment section is for you. You can ask your question there, or you can send me an email. I will be sure to attend to it. I'm very active with my email. I will attend to it. Except that because the time differences between countries, you may send it and it will be the night time here, so it will delay a bit. But in any case, I will do my best to respond to it. Okay, so if you have any queries, any questions, anything that is unclear, you call my attention to it. I will clarify it, inshallah. I will do my best. The aim is to make Arabic language easy for us to understand the concept of the language, inshallah. Okay, I pray you have a very good Arabic time. Till we meet again, have a nice time. Stay safe. Bye bye.